never walk this road, then you can talk shit. Gambling with my life, but I refuse to go for nonsense. This the life I chose, this all I know, ain't many options. About to tell the truth, I make the rules like I'm Fleece Johnson.
Hey, what's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. I got Mr. 20 versus 1 in the house. What's up, Fleece?
Hey, man. Love. Love is in the house. And that's what I'm big on now, love. I ain't big on nothing but love, right? Because that's the red light, the stop sign that stops people from doing things they shouldn't do. The love. It depends on how much love you got in your heart, right? I mean, if you ain't got a love in your heart, sure, you'll kill somebody. You'll rob them. You'll steal from them. You'll betray them. You'll talk behind their back. You'll put them down. People that got love in their heart do not do them things. You follow me? Love is the big word nowadays. Love. How much love do you got in your heart? Do you have a land draw? Me, I realize now, if I had this love in my heart that I got now, when I was growing up, I wouldn't have went through no 40 years in prison, juvenile camps, or none of that. I would have stayed on the path. Love would have stopped me from doing all the little bad things I did, that love in my heart. So now I realize that the world is lacking in love, man. People's walking around nowadays bitter, hateful, full of all kinds of anger and frustration. And the solution is right there in front of them, love, man. Let love enter your heart, man. It'll take all that bitterness and stuff out, man. All that want to hurt and rob somebody and retaliate. You know, talk bad about people, put them down, and try to destroy people's broadcasts and try to make things hard for the booty man.
Hey, while we on the topic of love, let's talk about no love real quick.
Right.
Did you hear about the story of the 10 New York prison guards that was charged in connection with the fatal beating of an inmate in New York?
Yeah, I was touched by that. And it's sad, man. You know, and what's sad about it, these is going. This is what I've been trying to tell y'all, that they tried it on me. But I was 15, I wasn't 22. I turned 16 in her. They tried it on me, and I held them. I made them humble with a couple of shit. Duty. Something that you never hear being done to correction officers, period. I did it. And you know what? It prevented them from doing to me what they did to that guy up in New York. They killed that little guy, man. Beat him to death. And that's what them guards do. See, inmates don't realize when you get locked up, you think the main thing you gotta watch out for is other inmates. You know, inmates trying to take your booty, your canteen, your money, I'll beat you up. You forget about the guards. They worse than the inmates. They the one that would have your life taken in. They the one that got agency that can justify their killings and stuff.
You mean like had it?
Yeah, had it. They try to hide killings and beat you to death. And see, it usually starts out, see, it was 2 guards they said were charged with the killing. Let me explain that to you. And 8 others, 2 of them were charged with murder. 8 others was charged with something relating to
conspiracy and falsifying records and all that stuff. Yeah,
concealing and all that.
Manslaughter. 5 got charged with manslaughter.
Yeah, but check this part out. In order for a big group of them, they had to ride for the little dude. Go in his cell and they roughed him up. See, usually when I cause a disturbance in prison, when they feel they gotta come to my door to, lock me up, it'll always be 8 or 9 of them. And they'll have all this shit on. Hammers, billy clubs, big old electric shields holding it. So really, and they got tasers and shit. They got enough to put you on that floor without opening your door. Do y'all understand that? They got enough weapons. When they come to your bowels, they can put you on that floor and walk in there and handcuff you without a problem. When they kill you, that's because they wanted to kill you. Do you understand that? When they kill you, they want to kill you. And they went in that inmate cell and they killed him. Now,
you felt like that was their mission.
Yeah, but the mission, it wasn't all of them's mission. The mission usually comes from one guard. Usually all prisons got old guards in there. They was there when they was killing inmates and all this stuff. And so when new recruits come in, these older guards that was on the hateful stuff, they start trying to implant in the minds of the new guards that just come out of the academy a whole bunch of stuff, not really policy. You learn policy and procedures at the academy. Then they put you in the prison to work. They done already trained you, right? Now these guards, they'll say, we're going to retrain you. And so the policy might say when you approach a cell, an inmate, handcuff him behind the back, put leg shackles on him, and back him out. Now you got guards that say, fuck that. What we going to do, they'll come up to your door and try to provoke you and then open your door without going through the procedures. Now they end up beating on you. And the guards that was involved, I assure you, all of them didn't have it in their heart to kill dude. Now the main 2 that was charged with the murder, one of them had it in his heart to do it. He wanted to run the prison like the jail, like he's always been ran, real rough and tough. Inmates say something tough, knock him down. We got a constitution that says you can't put your hands on them. The inmates' rights don't diminish when they go to prison. They still have rights under the Constitution, under the Bill of Rights. They got a right to be secure, to be free of cruel and unusual punishment. But you know what? They killed him. And they would have killed me had I not fought them people.
When they was coming in 8 deep on you with all of this stuff and you was fighting, they never knocked you out?
Look, never. Knock me out, man. Are you crazy?
8 of them?
Man, look, let me describe how it go. They came to my cell at North Point. And North Point got solid steel doors, not bars, solid steel. And with a little window in it. So they dropped the tray slot. They said, back up to the door. So I already know they here to kill. I can tell by the way they talking and stuff, they can really try to rough some shit up, right? So I turned around and they handcuffed me. And they opened the door and they ran in and slammed me. Now they're going to have to take the handcuffs out because they're going to try to 4-point me. Handcuff this hand, that hand, and my ankles to the bed, right?
But you remember they done slammed you.
Yeah. So when they took them handcuffs out to 4-point me, I already know where it's going, right? So I lay still, took my hand out, and let them act like I was going to do it, then I just snatched back. Motherfucker, let's do it shit. Cause one of them, the bed had a steel, like this is the bed right here. And this is the legs on the bed that was bolted to the wall. They had my neck on that steel thing, and one of them was pushing down like that. And I locked my neck up. If I had to relax, my neck was broke. I already knew it. His name was Harpoon. And he was nasty. He was racist. They got a lot of racist girls go to prison. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? You got people that don't like black people and people in general. They would get jobs in jails and prisons so that they can act out that violent nature in them, and they with a department that would justify them. Well, they ain't gonna even get charged. I'm going there and I'm gonna kill me some blacks, you know. And I knew all this stuff, and that's why I fought these people, man. That's why I fought them. I fought them so nasty. I said, you know what? Y'all got me messed up. I know I'm 15, turning 16, 17, 18, 20, and all that. I might die in here. But boy, it ain't gonna be easy. I fought them. And I think I'm the only inmate in America history that has ever went into a penal institution as a child and for 6 years flat through 3-gallon buckets of duty on the guards and made them quit their jobs, do all kinds of stuff, man. Some of them went home and did all kinds of crude stuff to themselves. I don't know if it's related to me, but some of them went home and blew their brains out, all that stuff. I fought. And in my heart, I felt like this. The guard told me, said, you can't win. I said, I don't fight to win. I fight to make a point. I'm not the one. You know, I might can't win, but you gonna know I've been there. You know, and that's how I fought him. It said, man, it said, and you can just picture that little 22-year-old. And I don't care what people say about me. I fought, Booty Man fought. I fought hard, nigga. And I fought hard, and that's why I'm alive right now. And so I feel bad about dude.
What did you do? What did you do different than most people when they came in there to get you or to fight you? What? You know, I'm glad you live, but you
the thing that I did different was I fought my battles in prison like they fight wars, real war, like a real war. I play chess, and I'm a real good chess player too, right? And so something I consider myself better than whoever. I had to strategize. I had to create a strategy to survive in this penitentiary. And what I did different was I studied the people. I studied them, their little administration, their rules, regulations. Then I studied the law that governs all that. And then I discovered this dissected them, man. And I looked for weak spots, you know, because they hated me. I mean, but they was trying to kill me, you know. And I didn't have no family, nobody writing me, come and see me out of my family.
So it made you an easy target.
Made me an easy target, right? Them is the ones they love to jump on because don't nobody care about them. But I cared about me. And I done developed a whole lot of friendships in the prison system. Because you go in prison fighting guards, the prisoners, they gonna like you. You know, because they see the guards as polices, you know, and
they scared to fight them, so.
Yeah, they scared to fight. They see somebody come in and fight them, fight somebody they afraid to fight, and whoop them. And then start changing prison rules and regulations and laws and stuff. That's what I did. I changed all of that. So is it? I wanna know what makes them continue to beat a person after they're not even moving no more. Why do they continue to beat you if you knocked out or, like you said, you was handcuffed? What good is that to beat you while you're handcuffed? Well, I can't explain that much, but I can tell you this much.
What do you think it is? Because I can't explain it either, but...
It's hatred. Pure abuse of power is what it is. And it goes beyond into like a spiritual thing, right? Because if you realize, and people say, why did he keep bringing up the Bible and then he cuffs and whatever? I'm going to bring you the truth. You watch these old Hollywood movies where they talk about the rapture, where you turn around and the only thing you see laying on the floor was somebody's clothes, the Lord done took them out. That's Hollywood. Fake Hollywood stuff. And if the church is teaching it, they fake. The truth of the matter is in the Bible, and Jesus said it out of his own words. When the people that have already been killed in this world, nasty, their kids and all that, and they followed Jesus, and he had them had their souls all in a certain place. And they said, how long? They still getting bitter down there. How long you gonna wait before you avenge us on them that did this to us? Jesus told them. His rapture was this. Until your brothers be killed as you were, fulfilled, then that's when it's going to happen. So you think that all these killings and stuff, it's a rapture. Especially when a person being killed is good. The Lord done already let that happen to take them, right? And he done already told the people that it's a lot of stuff, but let's leave the Bible out of it for a moment. Let's just stick with, let's say God wasn't involved, Jesus wasn't involved, nobody. Let's just deal with it like this. Now I can tell you this. Them guards in them prisons, when they are ill supervised, they come in and do what they want. I done ran into all types of guards, real nasty. I ran into some good ones too. And they don't talk about that. They don't talk about the school teacher. They said, Fleece raped 100 men in prison, all that old crap, falsehood, fake news. They didn't talk about Miss Cash. That's her name. Cash. C-A-S-H. White lady. She was my school teacher. And one day I was coming towards the gym in prison and seen 2 black inmates. One of them had on a chokehold and one of them was pulling her panties down. She had a dress on. And the inmates were looking down at the stuff and didn't nobody want to go down there and help this lady, man. I ran down the stairs and went around that thing and made him let her, even hit one of them, made him let her go. And I walked her to the little principal office in the prison. And then them guys kept going back down her, and then she finally pointed one of them, they got busted. But I helped this lady. They got certain other people in prison. I don't call their name out because if I did, the administration would think they worked for me or something and probably found. But there was some guys in that was Americans. They're good American, home, good raised people. And we got along. But a lot of them in our majority were just foul and nasty. And they killed that man. And then this little New York thing up you say that's the second thing that happened?
Yeah, I believe I read it's the second time an inmate this year, I believe.
But I've been hearing about this jail or prison up in New York a lot. You know, it's supposed to be so rough and tough. You know, and but here's the thing. Them guards goes in there, and them inmates keep thinking who they need to look out for is inmates. It's the guards, man. You know, and they killed that guy, bro. But Booty Man survived, right?
One of the charges that's I think you're starting to see
develop.
Yeah, changing of the tide. Hopefully, is they're actually charging them with gang assault.
Yeah.
On the guards.
Well, what else could it be?
Yeah, I mean that's true, but I've never heard that before.
And then another thing that I found is stupid. After they kill these people, after they kill your loved ones and stuff, here's the next stage. We're going to give you a couple $1 million. We're sorry about your loss. And then the families will take that money and they straight. I could never be straight. There's no amount of money you can give me that can compensate you taking somebody I love's life. You know, you take that, you give me that money, I'm going to take that money and I'm going to use it to destroy whoever did it. You know, that's how I would do it. But I'm just saying that Booty Man made it through 40 years. They threw me out of prison. I'm the only one in America, the only inmate prisoner in the United States that has ever been thrown out of prison for bad conduct. They threw me out because it cost them too much money, and I was destroying too much stuff, and I was taking too much control out of their hands into my pocket. I was controlling the prison, you know, and they hated that. And that's why when Booty Man got out, that's why they just put all this stuff on the internet.
Why you keep saying Booty Man?
I like the name now.
You like it now?
I like that name now. At first, I hated that name. But you know what? Here's the secret.
It was the Booty Warrior first.
Yeah, Booty Man. I call myself Booty Man. Booty Warrior, however you want. I say Booty Man. Now, check this part out. It don't bother me no more because I know that the department and agency that put all this stuff on my name, they powerful. They got billions of dollars. They got all this. It don't mean nothing to me. I took the name that they tried to place on me as a curse, and I done flipped that name into a blessing. Now that name is a blessing. Booty Man is a blessed name. Booty Warrior. You know, now I done took the curse out of it. These people, man, in this country, I done read about them. We all know about them. We all know about white people, white rule, power. We know service dating all the way back when they were just had slaves. We know all about when they enslaved their own people. White people enslaved white people. We know all about all the opium they dumped in China. We know all about all the bizarre stuff they did in the military, the Agent Orange. We know all this stuff. And we come our way up by the drugs. We know drugs entered America through George Washington. He legalized selling the drugs when he was the first president. He was a dope head. He wasn't nothing but he smoked dope like everybody. We know all this stuff about the FBI, the CIA, assassinations, things happening all over the world. The American people knows this. I'm sitting here as a booty man telling y'all this, a man without education, telling you something that we know all over the world about white people. We know the people in Russia, they call themselves Russian, but their race is white. We know the ones that did all the killing in Germany, kill all the Jews. They call themselves Germans, SS troops, but they white people by race. We know all the slave stuff Europeans did to the slaves. We know that even though you in France, you took slaves in Britain, or wherever, the British are white people by race. We know that we got this race on this earth, this white race on this earth, and it don't matter what country you go to and say I'm a Russian or this, your race is white, and we don't see the pattern. We see the pattern of all the corruption and monstrosities that you done caused in this world, man. Your race.
Not all of them.
Your race.
Not all of them.
So.
What you said
Now,
about...
I got a lot of white friends. Now, hold up. Let's say, when we talk about not all of them, it's not all of them. Not all, in every race, it's not all of them.
Right.
But I'm saying we know white people. Now, I can go through the black thing. Blacks done did a lot of wrongs, too. Whole bunch. Every race, the Indians, all of them, the Chinese done did a lot of crude stuff, the British. No matter what country you come from, the atrocities and all, but we in a new modernized world now. See, in this modernized world, we supposed to have learned from them mistakes, past mistakes. We supposed to have a government set up where we can slice through all the past mistakes. That'll never happen again. That'll never happen. That'll never happen. That'll never happen. And all that. But what they do now is they trying to go back to that.
Are you with
to the lawlessness.
Oh, okay.
To where certain people in power can be lawless. They can do things and not be criminally charged with it.
Accountable.
Held accountable.
Yeah.
The administration, they can defy all rules, everybody. We know this. I know it. So me, and I tell all the fans and everybody out there, my focus ain't on Donald Trump. My focus ain't on the stock.
The stock market.
Stock market. All of this. My focus is on survival. Period. To be able to survive and get through all this without falling into a trap. Because anybody that makes you got a lot of people see what's going on and get ready to happen. And then they start doing criminal stuff. Selling dope, drugs, stealing, figured out a way to embezzle some money, run a lot of scams and all this stuff because they don't feel they have the mental abilities to keep their head up and stay straight and be out here and work and, do things and survive. So now they break weak, they cut the corners, and bam, they gonna find themselves in a worse situation. See, I ain't trying to go there.
So how you been dealing? How were you able to deal with your frustrations when you got out and just trying to get your life on track? How did you deal with those frustrated days of not recommitting crimes that was gonna send you back?
Well, the first thing I knew I had to do is to deprogram all the nonsense that was programmed into me. You know, like if somebody say that person's a rat, I'm supposed to. The way I was programmed is if they say he's a rat, I ain't supposed to talk to him or her, have nothing to say to him. Wouldn't mind killing him. All this stuff. I deprogrammed all that out of me. Times when you lose your job or you can't get a job as quick as you think, you start thinking about going out there stealing and robbing. Deprogram. I take all the stuff, the way that I used to deal with problems and people. Somebody run their mouth to me, pop him in his mouth. All this stuff. See, I deprogrammed all that out of me because we live in a new time now, new era, new generation, where people now don't realize that when you step out of the comfort zone and you decide you want to steal, do this and do that, you're going to get caught eventually. And so, Boo Man just trying to keep my focus, man. I'm just trying to stay ahead. And the only way I can stay ahead is to program the truth in me and take all the nonsense out of me, right? You know, all the stuff I used to believe, I don't believe no more, a lot of it. I got new beliefs, and I step to things different. Yeah, that's how I do it.
Go ahead, Fleece.
I was asked a question, you know, like something prison related that I want to talk about, something that I ain't really talked much about. And I'm going to tell you one. You remember I told y'all I got out of prison. I had 7.5 years left on my sentence. Well, I'm not going to go through all that parole stuff out here. I went back to prison, made them put me back in order to go through some programs to kill that 7.5 years. So when I came, I had to do an extra year. So when I came out, I said, I don't owe y'all nothing. So I was so bitter and frustrated over me spending all this time in prison, and then all my family and stuff, like they turned their back on me. So I said, I'm going to leave my city, man. So I packed my stuff up. I went to Indianapolis. It's wintertime. I want to tell this story because don't nobody know it. And remember, I growed up where I hated, because of the people that programmed that in me, I hated police as per. Couldn't stand them. Went to Indianapolis in the winter, no money. Only thing I had enough money for was a Greyhound. Got up there and didn't know nobody. First, you know, I did all my time in prison. I ain't never been nowhere. And this lady, I seen this lady, and I asked a white lady. I said, do you know where I can find a job in, you know, shelter? Well, she took me to some shelter. She turned out to be a policewoman. She's a sheriff. And her name is Erin Hobbs, out of Indianapolis. And so she's a sheriff. And as make a long story short, her and her husband took me into their house, man. They took me into their house, sheltered me, found me work, all this stuff. And I eventually left, but that right there changed my whole perspective on policemen out here, right? Here's a white lady. She did all. Now y'all talk about the booty man and all this booty wire. How many people he great? This lady is a sheriff. Erin Hobbs. She been on the police force about 18 years. She did every background check you can do on me. And found out I didn't do none of that. They don't put on the internet. He raped all these people and all this stuff. So if you want to find out the truth about me, the one y'all call booty wire, booty man, this police woman, they took me in her house, her and her husband, as if I was their child. White people took me in her, looked out for me. On all my birthdays, holidays, they always came with gifts and stuff. They was near tears when I left. Erin Hobbs. Her husband is Randy Hobbs. And he's a big time construction. He does bridges. The man is just, his skills is unmatched. They took me in. And a police woman. Now, you got black people, black like me, see me walking down the street carrying a bag of clothes in the winter. They just kept riding, man. They don't care nothing about me. It's white lady, police woman. So how can I look and make a statement and say I hate police? See, my understanding, God allowed it to happen, just sharpen my understanding on people.
Our white people.
On white people too, right? And you know, I'm a black person, and ain't no black person gonna help me, man. This lady helped me. And I want that known. Erin Hobbs, thank you. You know, people ask me before, have you ever had a booty wife?
Prison wife.
Prison wife. Well, yeah, I got a lot of booty support, but when it comes to the wife, a prison wife, it's different. See, in the process of a prison wife, like you find somebody you fall in love with, and then
hold on, you fall in love.
Yeah.
Okay.
You in love. I mean, shoot, you ain't had no booty in a while, and somebody gonna support you, and then I'm like I said, I growed up in her as a child, so I'm trying to figure out how. I say, look. The inmates told me who to go to. They got a inmate in there that walks around preaching all the time to all the inmates. So I had to go to him, and he said, what's up? I said, we want to get married. He said, that's a good thing.
Hold on. How did the relationship start between you and this person?
Oh, well,
we can go back there, but how did the relationship start?
We met in the library, right? I was in the library checking out a newspaper of my city, seeing what's going on in the city. And this person is from the same city and was looking for the same paper and say, hey, can I read that when you get done with it? You know, I said, looked up at him. Whew. Boy, he was looking good too. Standing up, them big old hips stuck out, big old butt. And his back arched like that, lips all glossed and stuff. So I said, I didn't say, yeah, man, I changed. I said, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. You, sit down, you can have his name.
Oh, love at first sight, huh?
Man, it was like that. And, and we talked and stuff, so, we started, you know, he knew I had a lot of money. He knew I was running stores and poker games, so I had it going on. So, you know, if you're going to go for somebody that got the bread, you know.
Oh, gold digger.
Yeah, I don't come with me. I'm a gold digger, too. My goal is the booty. You know, you can dig for money. I'm digging for booty, right? I'm going deep. That was the guy that told me, I went deep in him, and he told me, he said, hey, the first time I had a problem with him, because he didn't get a chance to use the bathroom, He said, I got you. I said, look, come on now. Don't start holding me up on this bathroom stuff. I said, I got it up in him. And when I pulled it out, you know, I had a little dookie on me, and it wasn't nothing. But he told me when he came out to see me that night, he said, hey. I said, what? He said, I think you went too deep, honey. I said, what you mean too deep? He said he used the bathroom and found the imprint of my dickhead in his turd. The imprint of it left a imprint of my thing in his turd. I said, look, I don't even want to hear all that stuff. But he said, yeah, you went deep. And nigga, I'm going deep to the guts. You know, and so we decided to get married. I said, you want to get married? And he said, yeah. So we go see this guy. And he said, I can marry y'all this week. And so we had to go through all the inmates, send out invitations, you know.
Wait a minute, hold on, hold the hell up.
We do all that.
Hold the hell up. Invitations.
Yeah, to come to the wedding.
In prison.
In prison.
With a prison wife.
With a prison wife.
That you gonna marry in prison.
In prison.
You send out invitations.
Yeah.
Who the hell made this stuff up, man?
Man, we got a society in prison just like out here. The ones you call police out here, the guards, that's what they call in our police. Your jail out here in prison, the whole is the jail. You know.
So the prison is the free world.
Yeah, it's a free world like to us. And so my prison wife got ready for the wedding.
Hold on. Invitations. Who y'all send the invitations to?
To all the inmates and to some people that work there. You know, case workers, wardens, and, you know, certain people.
Oh, y'all serious?
Yeah. And they all got notification, and they all congratulations, Fleece.
Did they come?
Yeah, they came.
Oh, Lord.
And they stopped by and came and wished us well. And, you know, we got married.
So were y'all cellies at this time?
No.
So how y'all was living in different places?
Right. Well, he lived right across from me. So when my door opened, I could just walk in his cell or he can walk in mine. And we do it.
Was that a long distance relationship?
No, it wasn't. It was right across the hall.
Directly across the hall?
Yeah, right directly. Like it's me and you sitting. That close.
How they set that up like that?
Well, prison is set up like that.
No, I'm talking about how's your wife, your prison wife, directly across the hall? Was he right there first or something?
You know, all you gotta do when you want somebody to move, like if you my dog and you just come into prison, and even though somebody across from me, I say, man, it's my dog, bro. You gonna have to move, bro. I'll pay you to get you a cell, force you out. Either way. You know, in prison, that's considered
what, good sportsmanship or something?
Yeah.
Courtesy?
Courtesy is the word.
Okay.
That's courtesy. And then I'll go talk to the property man and tell him I want you in my cell, so we'll get it done, take it to the caseworker, and then on the move sheet, come out the next day, you'll be moved to come to my cell, and that guy in the cell will be moved to go somewhere else. So that's how you get people right across from you. And so we stayed, we got married, and we had like what you call that when you get married and you take your little vacation?
What, a honeymoon?
Yeah, we had one of them.
How do you have a honeymoon?
Look, we both had jobs.
Yeah, but y'all not leaving the prison.
Right, but the job we worked, they gave us a week off. We still got paid for that week, but they gave us a week off to be together, you know. And so we come out and we pick a certain spot in the prison where we just picnic every day. We don't even go to the chat hall. We got eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at this spot, picnic outside.
Just y'all meet there.
Yeah.
Or y'all walk there.
Yeah.
With y'all picnic baskets.
Yeah.
This can't be you lying. I have to say you lying now.
No, I'm not lying. Our picnic baskets is ice coolers. You know, we got these ice coolers, you know, with our stuff in our food, whatever.
I ain't never heard of such.
Yeah, man.
So, let me back up a little bit. This is some crazy stuff. At your wedding.
Right.
It's people there, inmates there sitting down.
Yeah.
Like a real wedding.
Man, I'm telling you, man, when they say, do you take him? Cause my wife had kind of like a deep voice, like, but she was pretty, looked like a woman, but the voice gave him up. Well, it ain't funny, bro. I mean, do you take him to be your husband, to love, to cherish, to death do you part? Him on top.
So it wasn't.
Whenever he said it, he finally said it, because you know his voice is deep.
How deep was it?
I do.
Oh, shit.
He said, do you take him to be your husband? I do. Everybody said, looked around.
I mean, but they knew it was a man, so
Yeah.
why was they so surprised?
And did you take her to be your wife? I said, yes. I really do. When we pronounce y'all, man and wife.
You may kiss the bride.
No, they say we can't do it in front of the warden.
The warden was there?
Yeah, they came. The warden, the fruit lieutenants and stuff, they say, good, please. Anything to keep me out of trouble. They tired of fighting me all the time. So we got married, man. And the dirty bitch, after about 8 months, somebody, for real, cheated on me. Yeah, dirty bitch cheated on me. And
With who?
with another inmate.
Did you know about it?
Yeah, but the inmate was a sissy too, right? So, cause you tell your sisters,
Wait a minute.
look,
All y'all were.
listen, you tell your boy, I'm not gonna suck you. I'll stick it in you, and all it is, you want somebody to suck on you, I'll find you a boy to go, you know, do your little thing with. But, here's the point. The dude that he did it with was like a best friend of mine's, right? Come on, man, you go behind my back and get
With
my wife.
your best friend, though?
With my wife, nigga. All this stuff, right? And they said that type of relationship wasn't no good for me. They said, Fleece, you don't belong in no gay relationship, bro. I'm just telling you.
Y'all had an open relationship?
Open. That's the one that I thought I got pregnant. You know. I'm up there gambling, making money, man. I got a table. I got 4 people at the table. You know, we play poker. It got to be 5. I'm the house man. Whatever you got on top, if you go in and win, I got to pay that. These guys are coming in my poker game, trying to control the game, put $1,000 on top. Who got the most? I said, you got 1,000, put me 1,000 up there. And then we get in a big hand, they said, 3 of them said, I'm all in. I said, Then my wife come over, my prison wife come over and say, I gotta talk to you. I said, what, babe? He said, I just came back from the doctor. I said, what did he say? He said, I'm all in. I said, what about you, man? He said, I fold. 3 of them went in. I gotta make a decision. And if I'm gonna call these dudes, I let them win whatever's out there, right? Let them fight it. I said, what did the doctor say? I'm pregnant. Oh, man, I threw my dominoes. I said, oh, my God. He thought I was going to hit him. I picked him up and hugged him. I said, I'm going to be a daddy. That like that. I said, I'm going to be a daddy. And the dude that was playing poker with me, he slammed his feet, got up. He said, hey, Fleece, let me talk to you, man. I said, about what?
Because you didn't know no better.
Yeah. He said, look, man, I know I had you won right here, but I fold my hand. Everybody folded, right? He said, let me talk to you, man. He's not pregnant. I said, look, bro, I'm not gonna sit here and let you talk about my child and all this stuff. You know, I was psychologically tore up, man, because I was raised in prison as a child, and I thought a man can have a baby. Because I never had sex with nobody before I went to prison. I ain't know nothing about sex. And this boy tell me he's pregnant. And I'm talking to the warden now. They don't know what to say to me. They don't want to irritate me. They know I'm ready to die and fight over this. I ain't going to have nobody talk about my kid. I asked the warden, when my wife have his baby, would I be allowed to see my child, man? The warden looked at me and said, he didn't know how to answer that. He said, I got somebody gonna come talk to you. And the person was a lady and she was a therapist. And she said, I spit on him.
Why?
Because he gonna tell me that this boy was not pregnant. I said, she's pregnant. Mr. Johnson, he's a man. He cannot have a baby. I boo, spit in her face. Get out of my face, bitch. White ass bitch. You motherfuckers is jealous. Y'all did all that stuff. That's what happened when you grow up as a child in the penitentiary. Never bust a nut on the street in nobody. I had to go in prison and learn what sex was. And I thought I got a man pregnant in her. I was crazy, man. I was saving up money. I was trying to figure out how I could buy baby clothes and all this stuff. And I went and talked to the ladies in the canteen, asked them, when my wife have a baby, how did I go about buying Pampers and baby milk and all that? And they looked at me like, but they was already told by the warden them that when I approached anybody in they told all their workers, do not sit there and tell him he's allowed. We trying to get his head right, because I'm ready to fight over it. So that's why prison ain't good to go. Man, I went through a lot in there. And I'm proud of myself that I'm able now to see the truth and live bad.
Well, I want to be the first one to tell you congratulations on that baby.
Nah, it ain't no baby. It ain't no, come on, don't do that. It ain't no baby. I mean, I thought but now, yeah, it's impossible. But back then, when you 15 and you growing up in prison, you ain't never had a girlfriend or nothing like that, and you gonna believe whatever. And I believe that. I believe that I got this boy pregnant, you know. And we were trying to figure out the name of the baby.
What was the purpose of him even coming to you saying something like it? Because he knew better.
Man.
He knew he wasn't pregnant.
See, I'm a type of person, when I love, I love. If I love somebody, I love them to the point of weakness, almost.
So did he say the baby was yours or your best friend?
No. Boy, if he had said my brother, I'd have killed him. I'd have killed him and him that same day. No, sir.
That's enough, man. Y'all have a good evening. Remember, go to www.
Man, I thought I had a baby.
Hustler Spirit.
A baby.
502.com. Get you some gear.
Yeah, and some baby powder and some baby Pampers.
Peace.
Peace.